This game is Taito's Warpman, a port of their 1981 arcade game. Originally, this game was known under the titles Warp and Warp and just plain Warp Warp. Why the name change? Well, we'll discuss that in just a moment. Now, if you take a look at the original arcade game, you might think, hey, this looks an awful lot like a goofier version of Berserk. Well, basically it is, but there is a difference, however. The game starts off with you just running around shooting guys. However, if you enter the warp zone in the middle, while it's flashing, you will suddenly enter the second screen. In the second screen, you run around blowing up guys with little bombs. Well, hey, that's an awful lot like Bomberman, isn't it? It's quite possible that Bomberman was based on Warp Warp, or it could just be a coincidence. Now, this version of the game for the Famicom, Warpman, has been graphically retooled, as you can see. The basic gameplay is still the same. You start off running around shooting guys. When the galaxy starts flashing, you enter into it, go into the second zone, and then you run around planting bombs. You can actually see the galaxy flashing here now. However, you only have a few seconds to step into it before it stops. There's a few other changes that have been made to this game. Some additional enemies have been added. You can actually now get upgrades to your weapon. There's a blaster you can get that'll make your gun more dangerous, and there's upgrades to bombs you can get as well. Despite these minor differences, it's primarily the same game. Now, I don't know that anyone was screaming for an NES port of this particular old arcade game. I assume that the release for the Famicom had something to do with the new popularity of Bomberman on Japanese computers. Warp and Warp actually beat the Famicom Bomberman to the shelves by a few months. Bomberman would be released for Famicom in the near future. Maybe Taito was just trying to sort of re-establish their claim to being the first ones to create a game of this nature. Additionally, the new title kind of indicates the need to compete with Bomberman as well. You just saw the bomb upgrade there, but the level ended before I could grab it. So while there's nothing really wrong with this game, it is unfortunately sort of destined to remain a historical curiosity rather than a playable game like Bomberman.